Welcome, friend, to the Chant of Abundance. It's Makai Miracle. I'm the creator of Infinite Miracle Healing, and I'm super excited to play with you today and go on this chanting journey to raise your abundance vibration very easily. The mantra for today is Om Shrim Maha Lakshmi Namaha. I'm going to go over the translation of that, talk a lot more about mantra and chanting, all of that in a little while. But what I'd like to do to get started, because I like to make things the most effective as possible, the most powerful as possible. And one of the ways that I know how to do that is to combine energy healing with everything that I do, including chanting. So what I'd like to do is run the infinite miracle healing energies while we're chanting today and throughout the entire class to create even more change and more upliftment in our vibrations. And to do that, to get started, I'd just like to take a few minutes to get our energies connected, get the healing energies. I invite you to close your eyes, take some deep breaths, let them out with sound. Letting that sound out kind of clears the vocal pathways, clears the energy a little bit more, so chanting can be even more effective. So let's do that a couple more times. And just continue deeply breathing and open yourself up to receive. Beautiful friend, how you feeling? Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment. Do that a couple more times. Once more. Just notice what you're experiencing in your body and your energy. And if you could give that feeling a word or two, what would it be? Happiness, joyous, elated. Yay. Body says calm, connected, and open. Esther says connected and love. Yay. All right. So, today what I'd like to do to start is just talk a little bit about mantra and chanting, because I know a lot of you are new to the practice. I've been chanting mantra for just over 20 years now, 20 years and a couple months. I was first introduced to it in a yoga class many years ago. Just fell in love with it. I'm a musician, and when I was introduced to energy healing, even before that, so I was introduced to that was in '98. I had this innate knowing that sound and or music could be combined with the power of healing to create healing music, healing sound. It's massive amounts of healing. Just had that knowing deep inside of me. And when mantra and chanting came into my life, I was like, this is a very powerful way to do that. So mantra, what is mantra? Mantra is chanting a word or a series of words over and over and over again in repetition to create some sort of energetic momentum. You call it a healing effect, a vibration, raising effect, trance-inducing effect, whatever it is. Merging with infinite consciousness effect, whatever, or for the purpose of today's mantra, an abundance vibration raising effect. Whatever the purpose of that mantra is, we chant it over and over and over again to create the energetic momentum and infuse that in our energy field, so we are then vibrating that energetic momentum, which changes our entire reality. We know from the law of attraction that intention plus feeling equals manifestation. We also know another one of the spiritual laws, which is the law of vibration, states that whatever you vibrate will become your reality. So the more you charge yourself up with a specific vibration, the more that shows up in your outer world. Mantra is a great and powerful way to do that. It's an ancient practice. A lot of mantras are in the language Sanskrit, which is considered to be one of the oldest, if not the oldest, spoken language on the planet. Probably not the oldest written language. I think that is, I just had it, cuneiform. Cuneiform, I think, is the oldest written language. Sanskrit is considered by many to be the oldest spoken language and also one of the oldest written languages. Sanskrit is short for Sanskriti, which means perfectly created. And why the Sanskrit language is considered to be perfectly created is that every letter and every sound in the Sanskrit language is creates coherent shapes. And what I mean by that is there's a whole study of science called cymatics, which is the science of studying sound creating shapes. What I mean by that is one of the ways they do that is they take a drum head and they put some salt or some sand on it, and they vibrate sound onto that drum head. And if the sound is vibrated for a long enough amount of time, that sand or salt will move into its shape if the sound creating it is coherent. Every sound or shape in the Sanskrit language creates coherent shapes when vibrated like that. One of the most amazing ones is the Om syllable. If you vibrate that amplified on a drum head with salt or sand on it, will transform that salt or sand into the Sri Yantra, which is this beautiful intersection of 64 triangles, which is considered to be one of the most powerful sacred geometric shapes out there. It's also a lot of times used as the chakra symbol for the crown chakra. There's only one other language in the world that has that characteristic of all the letters creating sacred shapes, and that would be the Hebrew fire language, or Hebrew fire letters. So most of the chants that you experience in chanting are Sanskrit or an offshoot of Sanskrit called Guru Mukti. It's the liberation of the Guru. That's right, the liberation from darkness to light. Guru means darkness to light. And some are actually in Hindi also. Now, most cultures around the world have their own form of mantra. So this isn't limited to Sanskrit. It's not limited to the Vedic traditions, Hindu and Buddhists and Sikh. Mantras found all over the world. The Vedic Sanskrit mantras are considered to be the oldest. It's possibly because they were the first ones written down. So back to chanting a little bit. So mantra is chanting the repetition of a certain word or a certain phrase. And there's different kinds of chanting. There's kirtan, which is generally done in a call and response form, usually put to music, where a leader would chant the words, chant the mantra, and to a certain melody, and then everybody in the audience would repeat them in that certain melody, and they keep going, and it gets more and more and more intense, and gets very, very intense, actually. It's super powerful, very fun. There's also bhajan, which is like kirtan, except instead of the call and response thing, bhajan is where everybody's chanting together. That's what we're actually going to be doing today, is bhajan. Instead of call and response, it's everybody chanting the mantra together. There are different types of kirtan. There are different types of chanting. There's different traditions. Kirtan. What we're doing today is called Namaskar Kirtan. And Namaskar Kirtan is about chanting the names of God. And when we say the names of God, we're talking about the different manifestations of God that came down through the lineage of the Vedic texts, which in turn led to Hinduism and Buddhism. And one of the awesome things about Namaskar Kirtan is that you don't have to, Namasur Kirtan. I said that wrong, Namasur. Namasur Kirtan is that, getting your pronunciation of the words and the gods or goddesses that we chant as close to as possible is great. And if you're a little off, guides that are around will correct that vibration. You'll still get all the energies from it. So it's a bit more forgiving. There's other types of mantra which require initiation, where you have to get the pronunciation exactly perfect for them to work. What we're doing today is not one of them. So, some benefits of chanting: ability to stay calm or calm yourself, but the ability to stay calm through intense periods of stress a lot easier, ability to deal with stress. Having more physical energy brings you into a state of meditation or trance. It's powerful healing effects from mantra. You can gain powerful spiritual abilities from mantra, including increasing your intuition. It brings in the vibration of infinite love and devotion. In the Hindu tradition, they call chanting mantra devotional chanting, because it's about how much can we fall in love with all of life, which I'm all about. Infinite love is something I'm definitely all about. Somebody said my sound keeps lowering and cutting out. Is anybody else experiencing that? So let me know and I will do what I can to fix that. No, okay. Good. Sometimes when the internet cuts in and out, it can mess with the sound a little bit. I think we're good here. All right, so today's chant is Om Shrim Maha Lakshmi Namaha. Om Shrim Maha Lakshmi Namaha. This is a chant to Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, with store of wealth and all things good. Lakshmi is the consort of Vishnu, who many consider to be the directing force behind creation. Although it's debatable that this is in the Vedic traditions, and which again includes Hinduism, and it's debatable between Vishnu and Brahma and Shiva about who's the supreme creator, supreme director. Doesn't really matter. Just know that it's a very powerful being that helped direct creation of the universe, all universes. There are lots of stories about Vishnu and Lakshmi throughout the Hindu traditions. The two most popular are Sita and Ram. So Ram was a son of a king who was banished, but first he fell in love with Sita, and Sita couldn't bear the thought of being without him, so she went on his banishment journey, and he slayed a lot of demons and rescued his beloved Sita from the demon king, and then came back to rule the kingdom in peace and generosity for 10,000 years. Sita was an incarnation of Lakshmi. And then next incarnation for both of them, it was Krishna. And Krishna's first wife, I'm not remembering her name right now. Pretty sure it starts with an R. It's not Radha. Radha was Krishna's 16,001. His wife number 16,001. This was Krishna's first wife. I'm not going to go deep into that story either, but Lakshmi comes down in these various incarnations when Vishnu chooses to come down in various incarnations to really create more light on the planet. Lakshmi, again, is the goddess of fortune, sometimes goddess of abundance, the bestower of wealth and all things good. Is ordered to be very beautiful and glowing with so much light that you can barely look at her because there's so much light there. And when we chant the goddess Lakshmi, we are evoking the vibration of abundance, the vibration of wealth, the vibration of fortune. And not only in the realms of money, that is the main function, but also good fortune with friends and family, the wealth of friends and family in your life, wealth of loving connections and joyful experiences. So, this mantra, put the translation here in the chat box. Om Shri Mahalakshmiye Namaha. Om is the universal seed sound. If you've ever, even if you haven't been exposed to chanting, you've probably been exposed to Om on TV, where they usually make fun of people meditating, like Om. Well, it's a very powerful sound to make. Why people do it. Om is the universal seed sound. It's said that this was the sound that sparked the creation of the entire universe. Even in the Christian tradition, it says, first thing God did was speak the word that created the entire universe. And that's what Om is. It's a vibration that created the entire universe. So when you chant Om, you're literally vibrating the entire universe. You are that powerful. You are an infinite being. You use Om, you are not only vibrating the entire universe, but you're invoking the power of the entire universe. So you're accessing a lot of power there. Shreem. Shreem is the seed sound for Lakshmi. So when we talk about seed sound, they're also known as bija mantras. Seed. We're talking about the essence of all of the qualities of whatever that seed sound is. Whatever that seed sound is related to. So for Lakshmi, it's the essence of all the qualities of abundance, wealth, good fortune. Just in the same way that if you have a seed and you plant it in the ground, that seed has all the information, all the characteristics to create that entire tree or plant or whatever seed you're growing. It's all in the seed. It's all there. When we use these seed sounds or bija mantras, invoking all the qualities of that thing. Reem is the seed sound for Lakshmi. Maha. Maha means great. That's its literal translation. Really, it's kind of means the highest or the greatest or the most powerful. Also with a sense of honor behind it, and honoring behind it. Lakshmi. Lakshmi is obviously the goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. The A is an important part too, because what that does is it infuses the chant and the energy behind the chant with the power of Shakti, the universal life force. So we're invoking Lakshmi and we are charging it up with energy, supercharging it up with energy. Lakshmi. And then Namaha is I honor the name. Literally what it means, it's just an honoring of the name. So when we take this all again, Om Shri Mahalakshmiye Namaha, I invoke the power of the universe, vibrating the energy and essence of all the qualities of Lakshmi, good fortune, abundance, wealth. Great Lakshmi, great Lakshmi, charging it up with that energy. I honor thee. Now, depending on what tradition you follow, some traditions say that you are actually chanting the goddess Lakshmi, or the deity Lakshmi. Some traditions say that you are chanting the qualities of those within yourself, invoking those qualities. Because if you are an infinite being, you are everything. So you do not have those qualities in yourself. You're just invoking them from yourself. I like both. I think it can be both. So one of the traditions in chanting is chanting a mantra 108 times. 108 is considered to be a spiritually significant number for lots of reasons, mainly because it contains both geometrically, both the masculine straight line and the goddess spiral. So many of our base numbers go into 108, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. And they all create this energetic pattern that allows for the solidity, stability of the masculine, combined with the dynamic energy of the goddess spiral, to come together and create an energetic momentum of both stillness and movement. So we are going to be chanting this mantra 108 times. Now, one of the ways to increase the effectiveness of mantra, and this mantra specifically, again, is to charge you up with the vibration of abundance, increase your abundance vibration. One of the ways to increase the effectiveness of mantra is to use mudra. Mantra is the chanting of a repetition of a word or a phrase. Mudra is about hand positions. And there are two really powerful hand positions to help increase the effectiveness of mantra, to generally increase the effectiveness of mantras. Some mantras actually have their own mudras. The two that I'm going to share with you today are Namaskar mudra, which is also known as prayer position, where you have your hands, palms together, fingers together, and thumbs are pressing against the chest. Bottom part of my thumb, it's a bit easier for me. Or Gyan mudra, which could also be translated as the wisdom mudra. Namaskar, prayer position. Gyan mudra is thumbs and forefingers together, other fingers out, and you're just resting your hands like that on your knees. Fingers pointing up. Either one's better than the other. Just what effect you're going for and really what's most comfortable for you. Because when you're chanting something 108 times, you want to be comfortable. It can take a little while. This is a short mantra, so it won't take super long. But when you're chanting longer mantras, you can be there for a while if you're going for 108 times. So you also want to be comfortable while you're doing that. We are going to chant this mantra very shortly. Before we do that, are there any questions about mantra or this mantra in specifically? Chanting, mudra, anything that we've talked about so far? Okay. Well, then I invite you to choose one of the positions. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to say. Oh, and somebody had a question. Sorry, that's what I was going to say. So a lot of times people chant these mantras just straight chanting, the same tone, no music, no melody. A lot of people add melody to their chanting. Either one's better or worse. Just what creates the most, what evokes the most devotion out of you, what evokes the most energetic momentum. And you charge this mantra. For today, we're just going to be chanting it as a chant. I don't have melody for it. I usually have a melody for the mantras that I chant. This one seems very powerful, just chanting it all on the same note. Somebody else had a question. Somebody asked, does one do it every day? Well, that's up to you. If you were living in an ashram in India, yes, you would definitely be chanting every day, probably multiple times a day, for extended periods of time. I have had periods of my life where I have chanted every single day. I have had periods where I've chanted a little bit every day, and some periods where I haven't chanted at all. Right now, I'm in a period where I chant an extended session about once a week, but I find myself chanting regardless most days, just the same way you would sing a song that's in your head. The mantras come into my head and I chant them throughout my day. So to answer your question, does one have to do it every day? No, definitely not. And the more you do it, the more benefit you get. So that's up to you. All right. Put the chant in the chat box one more time. Yeah. And for those of you watching the replay, the chant and the translation will be below this video. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to chant Lakshmi chant 108 times. There's no need to count. I will be doing that for you. For people who chant on their own, a lot of times they have a necklace called a mala, usually made out of rose beads or like dried rose buds or crystals or wood. And there's 108 of them. and one of them has a cone sticking out from it. So when they're doing it, they just move to the next beat every time they chant, so they don't have to consciously count. I have my own system, and you don't have to consciously count because I'll be counting for you. And the way you'll know when we're done is the last time we do it, I'll just slow it down. And then after we chant, we'll just stay in silent meditation for a couple minutes to really receive and feel and experience the full vibration of the energy that we just created here together. And not only us, people all over the world are chanting these mantras 24/7. Somewhere in the world, somebody's chanting this mantra with us. If not, lots of different groups of people. That's part of a lot of ashram spiritual service, is to just keep the chants going, keep that vibration pumping into the entire earth. So we get to connect with all of that energy too. All right. So I invite you to choose one of the mudras, the hand positions that I mentioned, either Namaskar mudra, or position, or Gyan mudra. Thumbs and forefingers together with the fingers up, hands resting on the knees. I invite you to set an intention that you would like from this mantra. Take a deep breath in. Exhale fully. Deep breath in. Exhale fully. Deep breath in and we'll chant. Om Shri Mahalakshmiye Namaha. 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 Om Shri Mahalakshmi 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 Namaha. Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Om 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 Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Deep breath in, hold it. Experience the vibrations, mantra. When you're ready, you can start to deepen the breath. You can start to wiggle your fingers and toes and ankles. Rotate your wrists and ankles. Rest your body. Squeeze your body a little. Stretch out if you'd like. When you're on time, you can go back to sitting and open your eyes. Ah, beautiful friend, how you feeling? Take a deep breath and hold it for a moment. Notice what you're experiencing in your body and your energy. Do that 2 more times. Ah, yeah. If you give that feeling a word or two, what would it be? Claudia says deep gratitude. Esther says whole and complete, filled with peace. Shell says I feel tingly. Yay. I'm blissful, joyful, yay. Helen says, awesome, feeling giddy and joyful, yeah. That says feel almost hypnotized. Trance is definitely an effective chanting. In a few moments, I'm going to share an ancient Vedic blessing with you. Send all this into the next level. And what I'd like to get started is, before that, is just share something with you. I do like to chant. Like I said, right now I'm in a mode of just chanting extendedly once a week. And I felt like I want to share these chants. It's healing energies with people in a glorious way. So I put together a 6-week series called Ascension Mantras. Would it be all right if I took a couple minutes and shared that with you? Beautiful. Mary Beth says, transported to a blissful space. Yay. I'm just going to pull that up here. So, Ascension Mantras. Would you like to easily increase the speed of your ascension? Would you like to learn ancient chants to raise your vibration beyond anything you ever imagined possible? So come play. That's going to be a bit like today, except we're not going to have to go through all the intro stuff, so we'll be able to jump right in. So each week you're going to learn about an ascension mantra. You're going to see the translation of the mantra. If there's any stories that go along with the mantra, my best to share those with you. Chant the mantra 108 times, and you'll receive the healing benefits of the mantra. So these are 6 of the most powerful ascension chants I put together. A lot of times these chants were not shared traditionally with anybody outside of the most advanced people in an ashram. The gurus wanted to keep these secret because they thought that these chants were too powerful for the masses to be chanting. I don't believe that way. I believe you are more than capable of chanting and receiving all the healing and all the power, all the ascension acceleration that these chants bring. So class number 1 is the chant of raising your vibration to the level of light. Some people call it the protection chant, but that's not really what it's all about. It's really about raising your vibration to the level of light. So you're not vibrating anything into your reality that you need protection from. You're just vibrating at a level beyond Class number 2 is the chant of healing, which includes the Medicine Buddha empowerment. Now, I will be offering that class separately for people who just want to take that class. And the cost is almost the same for taking that class by itself compared to taking all 6 of these classes together. So if you just want that class, I'd say come play in all of these because you'll get good value from that. The Medicine Buddha empowerment is energetic attunement. So it's literally an attunement to energy healing system, very ancient. And it goes along with the chant of healing, which supercharges that healing energy. This is a very ancient tradition in Buddhist healing. Class number 3 is the chant of Kundalini activation, evoking the divine feminine energies to supercharge the Kundalini. Class 4 is the chant of divine feminine manifestation. So this is invoking the energies of the divine feminine in a glorious way to bring more personal power to you so you can manifest that which you desire into reality a lot quicker, easier. Class number 5 is the chant of ascension. This is probably the most advanced chant of all the chants. So we're going to go over that during class number 5. And then chant number 6 is the chant of immortality and light. So again, these are advanced chants from both beginning chanters and advanced chanters. Don't worry if you haven't had any experience, we'll take it all the way from beginning. Just dive right in and bring you to the advanced level very quickly. So, are you ready to take the next step in your ascension journey? If so, come and play. Click that click here to register button below and come play in ascension mantras. We'll chant together, have a good time. It's just 127 for the 6 weeks. So come and play. If there's any questions about that or mantra or chanting in general, please feel free to put that in the chat box. Mary Beth asks, is this different than the 12 weeks of chanting class you recently did? Yes. Yes, that was more beginner level mantras, although still very super powerful. This is more advanced mantras to create a lot more change, a lot more powerful. So, yes, come and play. All right. If you would like a payment plan, send me an email and we can make that happen. Yes, definitely. The video's not on. There we go. All right. So what I'd like to do end is just give you a blessing. This blessing has been passed down by gurus many, many, many centuries, right? Well, thousands of years. Actually, it's an ancient Vedic mantra. I'm just going to chant it and then share the translation of the chant as part of the blessing here. Just open yourself to receive. Satma Sat Gamayam Masoma Jyotir Gamayam Mritir Ma Amritam Gamayam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Divine Mother, bring us from illusion to truth. Bring us from darkness to light. And bring us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Thank you for being here. I love you. I look forward to playing with you again soon.